have class at 11. So, I don't know, a bloody finger is the ideal thing to take to class. So I just wrapped it up in like some tissue paper, put some compression, and walked to class. And that's how I busted my pinky. Thank you.
I want everyone to know that before class he told me it was going to be a sad story. So if anyone feels sad, please raise your hand.
Thank you.
Thank you.
These two are lying. Please write down your comments for Fahim and he will come and gather them. So if you write anything bad, he'll know it was you.
Wait, sad about the speech delivery or the speech analysis?
I hope nothing sad about that.
Our next speaker, I hear, has been giving some very interesting stories that I accidentally missed. My bad. His project is Project 2, Organize Your Speech, and it is titled Too Much Sugar. Please welcome to the stage Alex Rosenberg.
Okay, you guys are in for a rare treat. You're about to hear a story from marching band. Why is that so special? It's because you don't really get to hear these stories. You have to live them. You have to experience them. You have to be there. To start off, I should tell you that these competitions that we go to are very rambunctious, rowdy, and crazy. We work so hard to put so much effort into our shows that we like to have a little bit of fun afterwards. So, what is there? There is funnel cake, fried Oreos, fried Twinkies. It's just like it'll make you diabetic just looking at it. And the thing is, everybody is running around crazy, hopped up on sugar. These are a bunch of high school kids that are eating terribly. I know Zack's a wrestler, and he didn't have the luxury of experiencing a lot of these foods. And I'll tell you this, it makes you feel bad afterwards. Which leads to my story. My senior year, second competition, we perform our show. And afterwards, we're hanging out. I'm senior, I feel top dog. Walking around with my other seniors, just like, yeah, we run this town. And one of my friends, named Eli Anderson, is going overboard when it comes to this sugary food. He is actually going up to people who ordered a funnel cake and going like, hey, are you done with that? Good. And licks the plate of this powdered sugar. I have photos on my phone of his face covered with powdered sugar, with him just hopped up on this extreme 8-year-old energy. And everybody's just going like, that's just Eli. That's him, he's crazy. He's jumping up and down, which is not really something you do in a social setting, where you're like, oh my gosh, guys, let's go. Yeah, I can't wait, yeah, oh yeah. And I walk away about for 15 minutes with some friends like, okay, you know, nothing's gonna happen. I come back, and I see Eli right up against the chain link fence. And the thing is, he's crouched up on the side over here, and he's shaking, where he's non-responsive. But no one's really paying him any attention. He's the crazy friend. He's the one that we always go like, nothing's gonna happen to him. He does this kind of things all the time. But something just seemed different. We go up to him. I kind of slap him on his face, which, I don't know about you guys, but I don't like it when someone slaps me in the face. And he's just, something's a little bit up. I don't know what really possessed me at this point, but I bent down and I got him on my back. Ow. So now we're taking a little journey together. I also noticed something else at this point. He's very lucid. He's just touching my beard for like no reason, making just sounds. And this is Eli, right? He's the crazy guy that was just a second ago, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? Like he's on my back at this point. I don't know. I've never seen him like this before. Eventually, one of the adults catch my attention. Hey, you should take him to the medical tent. And I'm kind of like, oh, that's probably a good idea at this point. I don't know what to do. I'm a high school kid. But I take that advice. I go to the medical tent. I drop him off. Turns out there is something wrong with him. He had way too much sugar. He's not hypoglycemic, or he doesn't have diabetes 1 or 2, but his system just couldn't take what was being input. That amount of sugar became almost lethal for him. But here's a point where you really get to see yourself and like how you react to these situations. The band teacher comes. Here's an adult, finally, who should know what to do. He's there, he's with his girlfriend even. He's just going up and going, oh my gosh, Eli, what are you doing? Oh my gosh, By this point in high school, I kind of just gave up on when it comes to adults in these little leadership positions, from lacrosse, from baseball, from basketball. You just get used to it, where they don't seem to fully know everything that they act like they do. So I look at him and go like, Mr. Barnes, calm down. Which, if you ever tell an adult, like a high school kid, to calm down, it is like the most magical feeling ever. You have the power now. And he's freaking out. My dad has multiple sclerosis, so I'm around nurses and doctors all the time, so I was more prepared for it. So it made sense that I was more calm. But still, it was strange to see an adult running around. I stayed with Eli while the paramedics were. It took them a while, and I kept them awake the whole time. They told me, you did a great job here. I said, thank you. Just walked off. I looked at the band teacher again, and I'm like, is he going to be okay? I'm like, I don't know. On Monday, when I got to see him again, I had to pretty much force a thank you out of him. It wasn't out of pride or anything. It was just strange that that happened. That's how you know also that this is a real story. It doesn't always have to have a happy ending. But it's a story that helps shape me. I'm glad that I could share it with you guys. Thank you.
Please write down your comments, put in the middle. Side story, when I was in middle school, I ate too much candy for 2 days, and then I could not eat anything or keep anything down for 2 more days. And then for 4 or 5 years, anytime I walked into a candy shop, I felt very nauseous. So it gets really bad.
True story.
Yeah. Our last speaker of the night is giving us an interesting story dealing with a Disney film. It's titled A Whole New World, so you maybe can guess which film. And it's a street rat named Aladdin and his monkey, Abu, live in a sandy city of Agrabah. This diamond in the rough defies all resistance and in the end gets everything he ever wanted. By defeating his resistance, Aladdin allowed himself to open up a whole new world. Alex is here to tell you more about Aladdin. Please welcome to the stage, Alex.
We all know this story, the story of Aladdin. You know it, I know it. But there's one thing we don't know. Who was Aladdin before the movie we saw? What did he do? Well, I thought about this, and I stayed up all night, and I researched the heck out of it. I was like, I'm gonna find out who Aladdin was. So I did. And I actually found out some strange, unfortunate facts. Aladdin was an addict. Before the Aladdin we know and love, and we saw on TV. Aladdin had a very disturbing and absurd addiction. An addiction that actually affects 20 million people around the world. The addiction I'm talking about that Aladdin had is stamp collecting. Aladdin collected stamps. I know it's weird, it's absurd. And you're saying to yourself, Alex, he's collecting stamps. Who's he mailing this stuff to? His best friend is a monkey. Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. These stamp collectors, they lick it, they stick it on a page, and they keep it. But that's not what we're talking about here today. How did Aladdin get from there to this successful person defying all odds and resistance? How did he do that? Well, it started with his stamp collecting addiction. Like anybody with addiction, it takes a lot to overcome that. And that stamp collecting addiction stood in his path and said, no, you can't pass. Aladdin passed that, swept it aside, and kept on moving throughout his life. He saw that fine girl, Jasmine. Woo! I still remember those days. And he wanted her. He loved her. But Jafar, her dad's right-hand man, said, no! You can't have the woman you love. You can't have that. But Aladdin, once again, said, move over, man with a long goatee. Out of the way. And that's just what he did. Married the woman. Became royalty. Even got a tiger. Yeah. Well, I love the story of Aladdin. Defeating resistance, defying all odds. I loved it and I use it to this day. I've always wanted to sing among many other things in life. But life has always stood right in front of me, like today, and just said, no! And I'm just brushing it to the side. I can show you the world, shining, shimmering, splendid. Tell me, Toastmasters, now when did you last let your heart decide? I can open your eyes. Don't look at me, Tyler. Take you wonder by wonder, over, sideways, and under, on a magic carpet ride, a whole new world. A new fantastic point of view. No one to tell us no, or where to go, or say we're only dreaming.
A whole new world, a dazzling place I never knew. But when I'm way up here, it's crystal clear that now I'm in a whole new world with you.
Now I'm in a whole new world.
Unbelievable sights, indescribable feelings, soaring, tumbling, freewheeling through an endless diamond sky. A whole new world.
Don't you dare close your eyes.
100,000
Hold your
things
breath,
to
it
see.
gets better.
I'm like a shooting star. I've come so far. I can't go back to where I
A whole
used to
new
be. Every turn a
world,
surprise.
with new horizons
Every
to
moment red
pursue.
letter.
I'll chase them anywhere. There's time to spare.
Let me share this whole new world with you.
A whole new
A whole new
world.
world.
That's where we'll be.
That's where we'll be.
A thrilling chase.
A wondrous
always wanted to sing, and now I have. I broke through that resistance, and I feel fantastic. I think that was singing. Each one of us, from the moment we popped out of our moms till right now, we've been facing resistance ever since then, every day. And if you're not facing resistance every day, then you're not growing. And that's exactly why we're here today, in this room at Toastmaster meeting, is to grow. Aladdin, when he was said no to, he broke through. Once, not once, twice. And then me said, no, Alex, you can't sing. I just showed you that here today. You can break through your own gates of resistance and open up to a whole new world yourself. Now, unfortunately, Aladdin went back to stamp collecting and went down poverty again, so that's another story. But if you like my story here today, I'll be telling one next week. The story is about Aladdin and his children. Aladdin and the 40 Thieves. Thank you, Toastmaster.
All right, everyone, please write down any comments, leave my singing out of it, and put it in the middle for Alex to get. And that concludes our Speakathon for today. Mr. President, would you like to say anything?
Yes.
Please welcome to the stage Alex Mathews.
Thank you. Hey guys, thank you for coming. Thank you for the feedback. I think this is a pretty good turnout because I only expected 8 people, given the people speaking. This video will be uploaded tonight. Everybody will be able to look at that. I think we did a great job. Does anyone have any announcements? Okay, with that being said, let's give a warm round of applause to Melissa. Please stand up. All right, with that being said, see everybody Monday. Woo.